Hey, what is up guys? Calum or Calum's Fish Tanks, and in today's video I have the very first episode of Calum's Planted Tank Talk, and I'm joined by Dan and Elle from Steelcityscapes. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. So I'll just start off with, when did you guys get started in the hobby? Like, how long have you guys been keeping fish and planted tanks and that kind of thing?
Basically, ever since I was a kid, we've always had fish ponds outside in the yard.
Okay, yeah.
And earlier on, we used to bring the fish inside and keep the goldfish in aquariums during the winter. But then, as the years went on, we ended up upgrading the fish ponds a little bit and making them deeper, and so that we could leave them outside. So I've always had goldfish basically my entire life. And it just has morphed into keeping a personal aquarium at home, and then now aquascaping.
Now, are you keeping goldfish now, or ponds or anything?
We're actually
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So are you working on stuff for ponds or secrets?
Yeah, we just put an aquarium out on the balcony.
Oh, okay.
We're going to be getting some goldfish when the weather warms up a little bit.
That's smart, yeah. I'm pretty sure we're safe. I don't think we're gonna get any snow anymore. I think we're good for weather.
Oh no, just waiting for like maybe another week or two, and then we should be able.
That's fair. So what about you, Al? Where did you start?
So I recently just got into it, sort of with Dan back into aquariums. I've sort of already always been around it growing up. Both my uncle and my grandfather they grew up as marine, or they spent their time as marine mechanics, and so they spent a lot of time in the water. So I grew up around water, but they also loved aquariums. So my uncle's got this huge tank, and I don't even know off the top of my head the size of it, or even like remember what's in it. But I've always been sort of around the tanks, and my grandfather had a tank that he always had in the kitchen. And when I was a kid, I always used to be the one to like come up and feed it. I used to be the one to feed the fishes. But what I always, what caught my attention was that he had frogs, the African dwarf frogs.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And I thought those were so cool at the time. Of course, as a kid, like that was just like the coolest thing. But he's also, he's from South America and Guyana. So there's actually a lot of aquatic plants that are from where he's from. So getting into it back now, this is sort of an ode to him, because a lot of the plants that I research, that I look up, are specific species to South America and Guyana specifically. Like there's a plant called like the Myriophyllum Guyana.
That's a cool one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
And specifically just because it was like, okay, let's pay homage to the roots. So, and it sort of ended out where it just sort of happened that Dan was into it, I was into it, so we kind of got together with it and put our skills, put our talents together, put our art together, and producing.
And that's how you guys started up Steelcityscapes, eh?
Yeah, that's basically how it started.
So where do you guys see that going?
For now, we're working away online, and we're growing the business that way. And our future plans are to have a physical store.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
We'll have our own shop. Yeah. And it'll be part art gallery, like aquarium gallery, and then part supplies, and customer related stuff in the back.
And you guys are carrying like Tropica plants right now, right?
That's correct, yeah.
Shipping Canada wide?
We are.
We are.
There you go, yeah.
Yes.
Another new Canadian company. That's always good to see.
Yeah. We're although we're a Tropica retailer, right now we're trying to be retailers of other products and other brands, of course. Tropica's been fantastic so far. Just products itself, we're really big on who we choose to sell products with, who we can really support and back up and man behind. So.
Now, fun little question. What's, of all the plants Tropica carries, which one are your guys' favorite?
Let's take a look at our gallery wall.
Oh, you guys have the pictures up, eh?
Yeah.
The art cards.
Do you like it?
They're so cool. Yeah, it looks really good.
So my struggles or my biggest weakness in aquariums is my pronunciation of plant names. So
Okay, yeah.
I definitely have to work on that. But my favorite species, aside from goose, I love the what is it called? The echinodorus plants. Is that what they're called?
Echinodorus? Like the swords? Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
But Tropica carries so many, but they don't have any available in Canada. So,
Oh, they don't?
No, none. But I love the different species of them.
Okay. And what about you, Dan?
Oh, geez. That is a tough one.
It is, yeah.
That is a really tough one.
So many good ones.
I know. Yeah, you have to go with the obvious boost. Like
Goose, yeah.
everybody loves that one the most. There's some really nice ones, and there's some really rare ones too.
Mm-hmm.
Colors, like you can get so many amazing different colors for booze, but even the leaves just look so iridescent.
Mm-hmm.
And
The little sparkles on them too.
yes, I love that. I love seeing just a proper booze just look so gorgeous. Like
That's what got me into them. I saw the little white sparkles, and then I started hoarding them all. Now my tanks are full of them. Yeah.
That's where we're going toward. We buy booths to sell, but I'm just like, can we keep them all because I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't blame you.
It's really hard to sell sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the good thing is when you get it growing, it grows a bunch, and then you can take trimmings off it and sell it and still have a nice big bunch, and that's what I've gotten to now, which is nice.
It's taken very well to our Blackwater take, actually.
Oh, I saw someone with a Blackwater. Oh no, that was yours. You showed me the pictures. Yeah, I was surprised by that. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a flower in one just a couple days ago.
The flowers are super pretty too, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually it was a boost that we had in another tank that just never really grew all that much, and then we moved it to this one, and it seems to be doing very well.
Well, that's good to hear.
They were boost lovers.
Yeah.
I think most people in the hobby are now. I think most people are using that over Anubias. It's just more colorful, right?
It's true. It's true. You can do more, and it's just as like hardy as an Anubias too. Sometimes, depending on the condition.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it doesn't like ammonia though.
No, we've had some melts on some of ours, but
Yeah.
but that's
Like the stuff you get is it grown immersed?
The pots are, yeah.
The pots are. So how do you transition it best?
We basically just get them straight into water as fast as we can,
Okay.
and get them. It's our cleanest, most frequent water change tanks.
the
Mm-hmm.
best.
Yeah, they're specifically set up just for these new pots. There's nothing else in them. And then just on a lighting schedule.
That's
And
good.
we are basically connecting CO2
Mm-hmm.
and running the lights on timers.
We are looking into sort of in the future, hopefully maybe finding a system. We've seen a couple of things on YouTube. I know that I think Yuri's had something on YouTube about storing the plants immersed, just keeping them full of just shallow water,
Mm-hmm.
keeping it changed. So maybe something in the future we want to try that just to keep them stored immersed because there's the different characteristics of the plants too between keeping them submersed and immersed. And sometimes customers, I know for us too, when we search for plants, we want to search for the immersed form. And then,
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes we get them and they're already in water. They've already taken.
And the thing is about immersed forms too is like there's no chance of algae or anything as well. Like you're still getting it lab grade, kind of at that level. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So now I guess we could talk about your little studio creations you guys are doing.
Oh yeah.
Those are fun. Yeah.
Microscapes, terrarium, mossariums,
Mhm.
jarariums, all the ariums.
Yeah. Yeah. So those are like a product you guys offer to people, or are they just something you do for fun most of the time?
It started, I guess, as something we were doing for ourselves, just like most, like a good chunk of our business, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
And then it basically just started from posting pictures of our little creations that we were doing at home,
Mm-hmm.
and it's generated some interest. So we now are offering it as one of our studio creations. So you can get your own little custom for yourself or replicated like one of ours. We offer, a whole wide variety of stuff now outside of just aquariums.
We recently had a lady who her daughter wanted a cat, but I guess to get her into having a pet, her first step, instead of a fish, her first step was owning Merimo mothballs. So so she bought a jar and just decided to asked us to put 2 Merimos in them. And it was a hit. Apparently her daughter loved it. She thought it was the greatest thing.
That's interesting for sure.
So.
Do you know if she ever got the cat?
No, I don't think so. Not yet. Not yet.
You're probably like, what is this? What are these things, these green balls? I want the cat.
Probably good enough for now. Merimo moss balls are fun. That's what I started with, a beta and a Merimo moss ball in a 1-gallon tank.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's a free start, though.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, that should be my favorite plant.
Those?
I vote for the underdogs always.
The ball of algae.
Yeah, the Merimo moss ball is my favorite plant.
Those are fun, but then there's the cladophora algae, like the normal stuff that just pops up in your tank, and I've dealt with that once. Impossible to get rid of.
Yeah.
Just keeps coming back.
Yeah, it's forever the battle against algae in this hobby.
But that's what makes it fun. If all the tanks were crystal clear,
challenging, that's for sure.
It's true.
If all the tanks were crystal clear, there'd be no difference between like a great fish keeper and then someone who just joined the hobby, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
That's true.
I guess the art form, like the scaping and stuff, but
It's all part of it, I think, too, right? So, and it's inevitable too. So you kind of expect it. It's sort of when you have fish, sometimes you can expect that you're going to get ick. It's part of, you have plants. You can expect at some point you're going to get hair algae. You're going to get something.
There's always
fun. I think it's fun. It's part of the research. And
there's always the next thing to go wrong, but then there's that win over that eventually that's worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So how are all your tanks doing right now? Any algae problems or anything?
One has a particular spike. I'm not sure what it's very heavily planted, and it's only a 5-gallon cube. It's only like a what is it? Probably like 7.5-inch cube. And I completely filled it full of plants, and it was doing well for a while, for probably the first 2 months, and then right now it's I've got the lights off, and I'm working on getting rid of the algae in that.
What kind of algae is it?
It's a little bit of hair algae.
Okay.
So we trimmed back a whole majority of the stems, gave it a big haircut, and we're keeping the lights down for a bit. We're trying to control it.
That's an algae I've barely dealt with, which is super lucky. Hair algae, I've rarely had that. It's always blackbeard all the time.
Yeah, we haven't. We've been fortunate enough not to. But we've noticed, we're just like, okay, well, is it the same process? Let's keep an eye just in case. Like, how to kill and get rid of it.
Now, maybe do you guys use tap water or RO?
Oh, no, tap water.
Yeah, I use tap water too. Maybe it's just the difference in our tap water. Something in there that we don't know about. Could be that, but no idea.
Yeah, like we just use store-bought conditioner.
I use Prime.
Yeah. Prime or API.
Oh, okay.
Press coat. Either or works very well for us, it seems. But that's usually my routine. Is just a bucket of water and a cap of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Drain it halfway, fill her back up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Full vacuum.
Yeah, a bucket out, a bucket in.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys not vacuum?
Yeah,
for sure.
You do vacuum?
Yeah.
Oh, I always forget to vacuum. I'm bad. I'm bad for that. Maybe that's why I get BBA. Maybe my substrate's all dirty.
I get him to do it. I'm like, Dan, please, can you vacuum this? Sometimes I'll just leave the trimming so he can just go
all over the top. Oh, that's awful.
It's shared maintenance.
Yeah.
Share the scapes, gotta share the maintenance. It's all right. Work together.
So how many tanks are you guys at, minus all your little studio creations?
Are you talking just scapes?
Well, let's talk scapes, yeah.
Okay.
I know I'm not counting right now.
1, 2. I think 7.
7? That's not bad.
Six,
There's only two larger ones. They're mostly nanoscapes.
That's manageable, yeah. I feel like for me at least, once I get like up to 5, all my tanks start getting problems with them because I can't keep up with all of them.
Yeah, we're
you're
starting to scale back a little bit.
Yeah.
Except I still have my first ever planted tank. We keep that. It's in a 10-gallon hex.
Those are the hardest things to get rid of.
right.
First planted tank, I never wanted to redo mine.
Oh, it's doing the best.
Mine was too, yeah, and I just
Oh,
Yeah.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with this tank.
Yeah.
It's crystal clear water. The fish in it are totally happy.
I'll clean up crew and everything. They
Yeah.
love it.
it's just beginner's luck, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like I did dry start on it too. It was like my
Mhm.
first little, like I was babying it. I was making sure it turned out okay. So I had Monte Carlo in the bottom. And yeah, it just ended up doing well. Yeah, beginner's luck, I think, on
Yeah.
that one.
You'll have to send me videos of that. Mine was just a big piece of driftwood completely covered in trident fern, and it took me like 9 months to get there, but it was a great little scape, and it never had any algae problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Big school of tiger antlers that I sold all of them and made like $50, which was pretty crazy. Yeah, one guy wanted my whole colony, so I said, okay, I'll get rid of them all.
That's awesome. What was your first fish?
Mine?
Yeah.
The first fish I put in my own personal aquarium was a balloon molly.
A
A
balloon?
balloon belly molly.
I've never kept mollies before.
Oh, they're the most fun fish.
Really?
Regular mollies are fishes.
Yeah, regular mollies aren't that nice, but the balloon mollies are like the happiest fish I've ever seen in my life.
I heard that the platies are mean, or the swordtails are mean.
Sort of mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Really?
can be aggressive.
They look so nice.
I know.
They do look nice, and then you put them in your community tank, and it's not very fun for a couple of days.
I know those are the type of fish that you see at Big Owls, and they're always trying to sell them to you. They're just like, "Oh, is this your first tank? Go to the Mollies."
Yeah.
Go
I like the guppies. That's what that really drove me in, like the breeding guppies. Like I watched aquarium co-ops breeding fish for profit, and I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was already having like a lot of fun keeping fish. I'm like, oh, I can make money off this as well. So I went and got a bunch of guppies, threw them in a tank, bred them for a while, got bored, and then I got into plants.
Yeah.
Much cooler, I find, the plants.
Yeah, there's so much
Yeah.
more to learn. There's so much
Mhm.
variety and everything too. So
You're kind of capped on community fish as to how far you can go, right?
right.
Basically, yeah. Unless you're getting into huge tanks and that sort of thing. Yeah, there's only so many species, right? That are
Yeah.
available to us, anyways.
You can only have like one tank, and then you get bored of the fish, and it's like, well, do I switch them out, or do I just get different plants? Like the tank's brand new if you get different plants, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel bad getting rid of fish sometimes. Like, I'm
I do
sorry,
too.
bud.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's annoying to go catch them too in a escape tank as well.
Oh, man. It's like probably the most frustrating part of the hobby.
One fish I really want to try out is coolie loaches, but I know they will tear apart a tank. It'll be impossible to get them out if I ever want to get rid of them.
They're so cool. Any kind of loach. Or
Yeah.
goby. Gobies are really cool too.
Gobies are so cool. I
They're
want to
so
try them, but I'm worried about CO2 with them.
Oh, are they sensitive to it?
I heard they come because they come from streams, right? So they need really high levels of oxygen. So I don't know how well they'll work in most planted tanks. Something I may try though, but they're pretty pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, aren't they? Like, yeah, they're like around $25 and up.
Depending on which one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not cheap, and it's also hard to get new fish now too.
Yeah.
I know. I know.
My
Like, sold out too. So.
what sort?
Everyone's selling out too. Like
Yeah.
our fish show that usually goes to the Angel Pens, and they're not getting a lot of stock very soon either, or very quickly either. But what can you do?
Mm-hmm. How's your business doing then? I imagine you guys are selling a bunch of stuff, eh?
Trying.
Trying?
Trying. We're still in the first stages, so we haven't even officially launched yet.
That's true, yeah.
So once that's all set up and we're ready to go, we're almost there. I think maybe within days or even within weeks, we could probably be there. So
This is technically what, a soft launch?
this is a soft, yeah, I would say a soft launch.
But it's going very well.
It's going very well.
Yeah, we're very thankful and like grateful that this is all happening and stuff. It's more than what we expected right from the beginning. So it's quite awesome so far.
There's a lot of people in Canada who really want to get into like planted tanks, but there's no good options really. So it's great to have a company come out with a bunch of plants, right? Send them out to people.
Yeah, part of the reason why we ended up starting this is because we couldn't find the things we wanted for ourselves, and as we do our own personal scapes and then scapes for clients and stuff, we need to be able to get what we want as well. And it kind of just sparked this whole idea of now it's growing into a store and everything.
So you guys sell hardscape as well?
We do.
What are you guys carrying?
So right now we are carrying a full line of wood and stone.
Okay.
We do have a new supplier actually who is selling for multiple kinds of different stones that we're going to get. What are we waiting on right now? We have a new shipment of Syria stone coming in.
Okay, that's exciting. Yeah.
Loves Syria. We've got some manzanita branches, some Malaysian driftwood, dragonwood. What else do we have coming in from?
We've got more elephant skin stone coming in. That stuff has been really nice. We've gotten a few different types of it now, and like some darker stuff and lighter stuff, and it's been very detailed, and it's actually been a nice stone to work with so far. We have lots of dragon stone. That's been a pretty popular one so far as well.
Our products are always updating. So right now we are gathering and getting all of our inventory together to launch. But we do plan on being a full source for Aquascape shop. Your full source Aquascape shop. So
yeah, the one-stop shop.
One-stop shop for everything. So we have the substrates, the soil as well, hardwoods, plants. We have the art cards too. We're starting to get the tropical art cards. So any kind of dry goods, we're starting to get miscellaneous items. One of the big things we're looking into is tools. That's probably our next step. So
tools and CO2 as well.
Yeah.
Where do you think you'd get the tools from?
We've contacted a manufacturer actually.
Oh, okay.
And we are potentially going to get some of our own branded tools.
Wow.
It's an option anyways, for having our logo laser etched on the Aquascape tools.
That would be super cool.
That would make us official office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if we just get one for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be awesome, yeah. Our club was talking about getting little pens with the logo on them, and that would be cool too. Like to have the official stuff, like all that stuff, super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, get the logo on everything.
You guys gonna do merch eventually with the logos too, like shirts and stuff?
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
We have some designs already in mind. Like when we were making our logo, we went through several different concepts.
Okay.
So there were a few that we just couldn't let go. That were just so nice, but they weren't the perfect fit for our company. So, and what we wanted for our logo, but they're really cool Designs. And they're for sure going to be on merch.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I'll have to get some of that. Rock it in the videos.
We have a few different shirt designs come out at least.
Already?
No, it's in the works.
Oh, okay.
In the plans.
Coming soon.
Yeah, a lot is coming soon.
Yeah, we are hoping to get in touch with any sort of Canadian, like for merch, so Canadian producers or screeners.
Now, for hardscape, some stuff. I saw this on my Instagram feed today. Black lava rock. Have you been able to find that anywhere in Canada? That's one I've never seen any place carry.
We found a little bit,
Yeah.
just a little bit of the smaller, like potato size
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Mhm.
So just the little
Nothing
stuff.
really like big landscaping type
Hmm.
stuff.
Not, yeah. We are looking though. We've been looking for. We are actively seeking out suppliers. So we have found a few places that do the bulk large
Hmm.
stone, but not for the black lava. Yes, yes, we're
Yeah.
trying.
Canada's getting big, so eventually it'll hopefully be here. Hopefully we'll get
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
oh yeah.
more
We got
stuff to
our
work with.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know Aldrin was using some cool stones, the little rounded ones. I don't know what those are called. They're in his like pond tank, I think.
The Hakai, those are the Hakai stones.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think those are really nice. We're trying to find those.
Those
I think
sound
it's
really heavy.
I think it's probably ADA you have to go through for those
I believe so.
Yeah,
expensive
that would
stuff.
make
Yeah.
sense.
UNS
For
possibly.
you and us, yeah. We'd love to, maybe in the future, eventually, when ADA gets more established in Canada, and just the distribution lines in Canada are clearer. We'd love to carry ADA products for sure in Canada. There are only less than a handful of retailers that actually sell more than just the basic ADA products in Canada.
Hmm.
So eventually, of course, we have to pay homage to the nature aquarium of how it started. So
Hmm. The biggest company in it, right?
of
Yeah,
course,
they're definitely the best of the best.
and we want to carry. Sorry,
Yeah,
we
no,
want
the
to
best of
carry.
the best.
We do want to carry the best products and what we can for everyone that we work with, for everyone that we meet, anyone who comes to who says, we're new into aquascaping or we're seasoned. We want everyone to come and be able to find those certain products, those special products that you see. The EU, man, Europe has everything.
Yeah, they do. They got all the Tropica limited plants too as well.
I
Those make me
know.
Special
jealous.
editions.
Everything. So that's part of what we're trying to establish too. We're starting off how we are here in Steel City in Hamilton, but we do want to be across Canada. We do want to be known for our company and what we're doing, what we're bringing, and what we're hoping to recognize within the community of aquascaping.
Mhm.
Well, that's super exciting for me because I know here in Ottawa, I've got two or three local fish stores, and one of them carries ADA, but they only carry like the soil, and it's way higher than anything I found online. They sell it for $85 a bag.
Oh,
Oh
Yeah,
no,
ridiculous.
that's like
no, is that even allowed?
I don't know if it's allowed, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no.
It could have dropped because I haven't checked the price in years because it was like 3 years ago when I saw that, and I'm like, no way.
it should be like a good $20-something cheaper than that, I
we
believe.
thought 65 was pushing it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So 85, but
I personally think you guys are already carrying the best soil. My favorite's Tropica. I love how you can get the powder type. Works great for carpets, right?
Yeah.
perfect.
We actually just got a whole shipment of it in today.
Yeah,
More powder type.
and it's all produced in Japan too. So I mean, it says right there on it, so we know that it is like legitimate soil, aqua soil. It's good stuff.
Hmm. Is there anything else you guys want to throw in?
We like as part of the business, if you want to know how we partner together, we sort of share everything, share the scapes, the business aspect, sales, the behind the scenes, the front of the scenes. We do have our certain strengths that we work with. Like Dan is much better as the face of the company, as the sales as the sales as the sales rep. My strength and my background is accounting and finance, so that's sort of where I take on in that part of the business. But in terms of the design aspect, I think we work well together. For both, we respect each other's opinions. We sort of have a similar eye, an artistic eye, we
Hmm.
should say. So it's not like he has an idea, he creates it, and I go, oh man, that just looks terrible. It never, it doesn't usually happen.
But we're okay with those kinds of reactions.
Yeah,
Though, too.
Mhm.
yeah.
That's important.
It's definitely a positive thing to have a second set of eyes.
A good example would be the back when we did the 5-10 challenge.
Oh,
Both of
okay.
us were actually doing it, and you can see us at some points, like me reaching in, pointing. He holds up the rock. We're sort of like, no, that needs to be changed. We need to change that. Sort of, someone changes it. So it sort of works out. It's a great balance.
That would be very useful to have for me.
Just like third hand, third, fourth hand.
Yeah.
Or even someone to say that just looks bad, because like my parents are like, and my brother are just like, yeah, it looks good, and then 2 weeks later I'm like, why did I place that there? And I have to go in, switch everything up.
I know, sometimes we'll lean back, take a picture, and look at it the next day, and it's like, oh, it looks great. I look at it and I'm like, no, but you see this? How did you let me put that there? What do you mean?
That's why it's useful they say to make a hardscape and then keep it dry for a week and change things up. I'm not patient enough for that.
Oh no, it's like 24 hours at the most.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's hard to even get a picture in before I start flooding it.
Yeah. And then it gets changed. It's literally just before water goes in. You know what? Let's make that last minute change. And then the water's in. The water's already dripping through the colander, and we're changing.
Yeah.
I can never do that either, because I always break down existing scapes, and I don't get rid of my fish, because I like to keep them, right? And then it's like, oh, well, they got to go somewhere. I can't just leave them in a bucket all night. Got to escape in as fast as I can. Speed run.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, you only got a couple hours on a bucket.
Mm-hmm. Especially if it's like my 40 breeder where it's a ton of fish.
Oh, yeah.
I know he feels the best. Like, sorry, trying to pick them up.
The worst is catching all the shrimp.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Always worried I leave some behind. I try to find them all.
I always do. Even the little tiny little baby ones, I always think there's going to be some there. We sometimes will leave, if we take down a tank with shrimp in it, we'll leave it out for a day or two just to make sure there's no one left.
Mm-hmm.
The little babies will come up out of the substrate and swirl it. You may see that our logo is a giant shrimp mostly.
Yep.
So you may wonder why there's a giant shrimp, and that is because we are aquascape shop and a shrimpery. So we haven't launched that part of the business yet. It's still in the breeding process. It's still getting in the beginning of the breeding stages. But we will be starting to sell Neocaridina shrimps. So
that's exciting. That's super exciting. And are you planning to get shrimp products as well, like the different foods? That's exciting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And Buse are always good with shrimp as well, so it's good that you'll have those.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's a great
Most
combo.
of our plant species try to be shrimp friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that goes partially hand in hand with scaping. You always see little shrimps. There's always the cleanup crew, and everyone always has dwarf shrimps or crystals or some sort. So.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a growing aspect of the hobby, for sure.
I don't have a single tank without shrimp in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're essential, I think, in a planted tank for sure. Yeah.
I agree. We're expecting some crystal red babies soon. So.
The problem with me is most of my fish tanks are in my room, and the air conditioning doesn't work the best up there. So my room gets like 82 degrees. So every summer all my shrimp die, and I get like a couple survive. Yeah, it's awful. I try my best to keep the tanks cool. Like I keep fans over them, but it's just not enough to keep my shrimps alive.
Yeah, we have axolotls as well, and they require 15 to 18 degrees Celsius temperature.
So what's that in Fahrenheit?
That's 60.
65.
Oh, 60s. Okay, wow.
Yeah, 62 to 68, I think, or something like that.
Wow.
So we have to watch it really in the summer. Sometimes we'll have to put bottles of frozen water in just to help keep them cool down. So, of course, you feel your pain with the shrimp.
Yeah. Jeez, I can't even imagine keeping a tank that low during the summer.
Yeah, we usually have a couple ice packs or water bottles rotating through it in the freezer.
So that's a lot of work for those guys, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, they're worth it though.
Totally worth it.
Now, what do you guys feed those? Bloodworms?
Crawlers.
Nightcrawl. I've never.
Yeah.
I was.
Work.
There's one point where I was a little interested in them, and then like I heard one thing, and I'm just like, yeah, never mind. I don't want them anymore. And I forget what that is, but I'll probably research them again soon.
Yeah, let us know because we haven't had anything.
Yeah, there's nothing. They've been tons of fun ever since we got them. They make us laugh like 10, 20 times a day easily.
I love. I always wanted the axolotl, so I actually introduced Dan to the axolotls. But I'm a reptile person.
That's what I started as.
Yeah, I love snakes. I love the geckos, the crusties. I love the axolotls, which are they count, but they're amphibious, but they count.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's for me. Yeah.
The reason I got into fish keeping is because my mom said I couldn't get any more reptiles, and then I just got way bigger into fish keeping, so all the plants and stuff. I wanted to breed leopard geckos when I was like 12. My parents like it's not happening.
That would have been awesome, though.
It would have. I don't know where I would have put them all, but would have been fun.
One day you'll do it.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah, I'll have the fish room upstairs and the leopard gecko dungeon in the basement or something. So thank you to everyone who made it this far into the video. I know it's a longer one. I'm going to have Steelcityscapes Instagram down below as well as mine, so you can go check us out. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be sure to have more of these in the future. I've got a couple more guests lined up that I'm super excited about. But yeah, this was Calem's Fish Tanks. Peace.